Imagine surprising your husband at work and the guard says his wife is already inside.
I went to surprise my husband at work, and the moment I told the guard who I was, he laughed. Not a polite chuckle, a full-on, knowing laugh that made my stomach drop. But before we continue, please subscribe and turn on the notification bell for updates.
His wife is already inside.
He said. Already inside? My mind raced. Who could possibly be there before me? A client? A colleague? Or something worse? My heels clicked against the marble floor, echoing louder than I felt comfortable with, and I could feel every eye in the lobby, even if no one was really watching. The glass doors gleamed, the words "authorized personnel only" reflecting my face like a warning. I tried to steady my breath. My heart wasn't just racing, it was hammering, like it knew something I didn't. I'm Emma Parker, 28 years old, and normally I'm confident. I can walk into boardrooms, pitch clients, and charm a room full of strangers without blinking. But right now, I felt like a kid caught in the hallway before detention. My husband, Daniel, 32, CEO of one of the fastest-growing tech firms in the city, was probably buried in his office, blissfully unaware of the storm building at the lobby doors. I had planned this little surprise for weeks, imagining the look on his face, the smile that always makes me melt, the playful teasing. And yet, that one sentence from Tony, the guard, made everything freeze. I stepped closer to the elevators, trying to act casual, though my palms were slick with sweat. Tony's gaze roamed me, then he smirked again, and I realized he wasn't just a security guard. He was the kind of guy who sees everything, notices the smallest things, reads people like books.
Madam, he said again, nodding toward the elevators. I see his wife every day. What did that even mean? My curiosity spiked. Was it a joke, a warning, or something I couldn't yet understand? And just as I was about to demand an explanation, the elevator doors slid open. I froze. My pulse hit 100. Because whoever was waiting inside, it wasn't what I expected, and what came next would change everything.
Oh my god, the guard said his wife is already inside. But Emma just arrived, so who could possibly be there first? Something fishy is really going on.
I thought this would be a simple, cute surprise. I imagined walking into Daniel's office, seeing his face light up, maybe a playful scolding for not telling him I was coming. But the guard's words froze me in place. His smirk, that knowing look, it was like he'd already seen this movie before, and I was just the unwitting lead. My heels tapped faster on the marble floor as I tried to act confident, but my chest felt tight, my stomach knotted. Who was inside before me? And why did Tony's tone feel like a warning? I remembered the first time Daniel and I met. It was at a charity gala where I accidentally spilled champagne on his crisp white shirt. Most men would have groaned or brushed it off. Not him. He laughed. Deep, contagious laughter, and handed me a napkin while making a joke about fate conspiring for awkward introductions. That same man, who could charm a room with a smile, was now somewhere behind those elevator doors. And somehow, I had the sinking feeling he was hiding something. Tony leaned casually against the desk, eyes glinting with mischief.
You sure you're the wife?
He asked, raising an eyebrow. I forced a laugh. Yes, definitely me. But the truth was, every instinct in my body was screaming that something wasn't adding up. Why would he say such a thing if nothing was wrong? My mind ran wild with possibilities. Maybe Daniel had a surprise meeting with someone important. Maybe he wasn't alone. I took a deep breath and decided to keep moving. I stepped toward the elevators, trying to appear calm, even as my pulse raced. The doors slid open, and the light from inside spilled into the lobby, warm and golden. And then I caught a glimpse of a shadow moving in the office. My heart leapt. It was just a shadow, right? Just a trick of the light? Or was it something I wasn't supposed to see yet? I stopped, hesitated. Because what came next would change everything, and no one saw it coming.
So Emma decides to play along. But wait, if she's the wife, why does the guy act like he has seen someone else? Who could possibly be in that office right now?
Then I made a decision I would never forget. Instead of confronting whatever or whoever was inside, I decided to play along. If this was a test, I wasn't going to fail it. My reflection in the glass doors caught my eye, and I adjusted my hair, smoothed my jacket, and practiced a confident smile, even though my stomach was doing backflips. I told myself, stay calm, stay mysterious, and see where this goes. As I walked past the lobby, I noticed Tony watching me, a barely there smirk playing on his lips. He leaned back in his chair, pretending to sort papers, but clearly amused. It was like he had a front row seat to my little drama. I wondered for a brief, panicked second if he was in on this too. Could the guard be part of some elaborate office joke? My curiosity spiked, and I almost laughed at how nervous I was, even though I was supposed to be the confident one. The elevator ride felt endless. Every floor ticked by like a drumbeat in my chest. I imagined Daniel in his office, maybe pacing, maybe laughing to himself, oblivious to the suspense I was building in my own mind. Then, as I stepped out, someone waved at me. An office employee. I froze. Did they think I was someone else? Should I correct them or play along? My pulse hit 100 again. Every step toward Daniel's office became heavier, like walking through molasses, but I couldn't turn back now. I reached the door and paused. The sounds from inside, faint laughter, the shuffle of papers, were almost torturous. Every instinct told me to burst in, to throw myself into the room and end the suspense. But a tiny, mischievous part of me wanted to see how far I could let this tension stretch. My hand hovered over the door handle, trembling slightly. Because what waited behind that door was more than I imagined, and the moment I finally peeked inside would leave me frozen, heart racing, and gasping for what came next.
She's finally at the office door, and we hear movements inside. But if Daniel is here alone, why does it feel like someone else is waiting? What are we missing?
I pushed the door open just a crack, barely daring to peek inside. And then I froze. My heart skipped a beat, and for a second, I couldn't breathe. Inside, Daniel was standing in the middle of the office, decorations scattered around him, tiny string lights, a small bouquet, and a neatly wrapped gift sitting on his desk. He hadn't been hiding a scandal. He hadn't been with anyone else. He had been planning a surprise for me. I blinked, disbelieving. The shadow I thought I had seen earlier? Just a ribbon fluttering in the breeze from the open window. The laughter I heard? His, practicing jokes to make me smile. And the note on the desk, written in his familiar, bold handwriting, said, "Emma, you make every day brighter. I wanted to return the favor." My hands went to my mouth as relief and love crashed over me like a wave. Tony, the guard, leaned casually on the desk in the corner, his smirk now unmistakably playful. He had known the whole time. I stepped fully into the room, letting the door click softly behind me. Daniel turned, caught my gaze, and froze for a second, the same frozen moment I had felt in the lobby. Then his face broke into the warmest, most genuine smile I had ever seen.
"Emma,"
He said softly, almost shyly.
"I wanted to see your face light up."
I laughed, a shaky, happy sound that filled the office. I wanted to run to him, hug him, maybe even scold him for keeping this from me, but the joy of the moment made everything else fade. I realized then what Tony's comment meant. I see his wife every day. He wasn't mocking me, he was hinting at the beautiful truth that Daniel thought of me constantly, even amidst board meetings and high-stakes decisions. Every tense, anxious step I had taken down the lobby had led to this, a simple, perfect, unexpected love. But just as I reached for Daniel, the phone on his desk buzzed, and in that moment, everything seemed like it might change again. I closed the distance between us, my hands trembling slightly as I reached for him. Daniel took a step forward too, and for a moment, the office felt like our own little world, suspended in golden light, string lights twinkling like tiny stars, the faint scent of fresh flowers filling the air. I laughed again, a soft, relieved sound, because the tension, the fear, the racing heartbeats of the last few minutes, all of it melted into joy. He wasn't hiding anything from me. He hadn't forgotten me. He had been thinking of me all along, planning a surprise that would make me feel loved and seen, just as he always did. I looked at the gift on his desk, small but deliberate, the way he had chosen something he knew I would treasure. The note, written in his handwriting that I had memorized over the years, made my chest tighten with affection.
Emma, every day with you is worth celebrating. Today it's your turn.
It hit me then. The guard's cryptic comment wasn't a warning. It wasn't a scandal waiting to explode. Tony had been right in his own sly way. Daniel did see me every day, not just in passing or in photos, but in the little ways that mattered most. My heart swelled with gratitude and love, realizing that even the moments of suspense, of doubt, had led me here, to laughter, to relief, to this intimate, perfect surprise. I finally let myself embrace him, and there, in the middle of the office, I felt every bit the confident woman I knew I was, and yet also the deeply loved wife who had been fooled by her own assumptions. It was a beautiful contradiction, the tension, the fear, the adrenaline, all leading to this single golden moment. We laughed at how ridiculous the entire scene must have looked from the outside. Me in heels, fumbling with nerves, Tony smirking like a mischievous accomplice, and Daniel patiently waiting to see the look on my face. As we held each other, I thought about all the little surprises in life that feel scary at first, but turn into something unforgettable. The fear of the unknown, the hesitation before stepping into something unexpected, the racing thoughts about what could go wrong. All of it is worth it when the payoff is real love, genuine connection, and a memory that will last forever. I realize that life isn't about avoiding suspense or uncertainty. It's about leaning into it, trusting the people you love, and letting yourself be vulnerable enough to experience joy fully. Then Daniel whispered, a mischievous glint in his eye.
Next time, maybe you should plan the surprise.
I laughed, shaking my head, realizing that this playful back and forth, the little games and surprises, is exactly what keeps love alive. And for the first time in what felt like forever, I understood why moments like this are worth every anxious step, every racing heartbeat, every uncertain elevator ride. Love isn't just about grand gestures. It's about the suspense, the misdirection, and the relief that comes when everything finally clicks into place. If you've ever worried, hesitated, or feared the unknown in life or love, remember this story. Sometimes the scariest moments, the ones that make your heart pound and your stomach twist, are just the prelude to something unforgettable. Moments of doubt can lead to laughter, surprises, and memories you'll never forget. And sometimes, just sometimes, the person you think is hiding something is actually preparing a moment that proves just how deeply they care. So, if this story made your heart race and smile at the same time, don't forget to hit like, share it with someone who could use a little suspense and love in their day, and leave a comment with your own unforgettable surprise moments. Because sometimes, the best stories are the ones that start with a shock and end with the warmest, happiest revelation. And trust me, life is better when you let yourself be surprised.
Told you a simple office visit could turn to the most unforgettable surprise ever. Let me know what you think in the comment section.